Following Hurricane Maria, it's been clear that the White House has absolutely no interest in providing the relief resources necessary to help Puerto Rico recover. Now, there is a number of politicians who are calling Donald Trump out on this, including the governor of Puerto Rico, who you're about to hear from. Take a look.
If the bully gets close, I'll punch the bully in the mouth.
Just like that.
Just like that. I don't. It would be a mistake to confuse courtesy with courage.
Yeah. So look, of course, I like what he's saying. I wish he'd said it much earlier. I get that he's in a difficult position because the hurricane hits. The federal government will decide whether they're going to get a lot of money or not. Now, Rosselló was criticized for being very conciliatory to Donald Trump, to say the least. And his popularity plummeted in Puerto Rico. And so could this be partly his frustration? Definitely. We'll get to the facts behind his frustration and the frustration of all of Puerto Rico with the Trump administration, and of course, gigantic lies by Trump on this as well. But it could also be partly motivated by the fact that, hey, not a great political strategy to back Donald Trump if you're the governor of Puerto Rico. So that probably has a factor to play here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's frustration about the fact that Trump has been dismissive toward Puerto Rico. Politicians have been trying to get a meeting with Trump just to kind of go over what they're lacking. I want to give you some details in regard to how much money Congress has allocated for the relief effort in Puerto Rico and how little they've actually received of that money. So according to CNN, while Congress has appropriated almost $20 billion in disaster funds from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, only a small fraction of that, $1.5 billion, is approved for actually spending legislation that would spend more funds or send more funds to the island as part of a larger disaster relief package has been tied up in the Senate.
So now you want to know what Donald Trump said Puerto Rico got? 90 billion.
That's right. That's what he says, but that is not what they've received, obviously.
So they got 1.5 billion so far. They could get 20 billion, and that would be great, and hurry up and get it to them. But the Republicans have decided, I don't know. Do we really want to give it to Puerto Ricans? And so they're holding it up. Meanwhile, Trump, of course, as usual, over the top, outrageous, outlandish lie about how they've already received 90 billion. In fact, today, right before we came on the show, he said, no one has ever done anything as good as me for Puerto Rico. He's just, I mean, every day he comes up with a different way to be monstrous.
Right, I mean, he thinks he's the best. He thinks that he's done the best job in every single issue and policy imaginable, but in reality, you just do a little tiny bit of digging and you find out he's lying. In fact, let me give you some more details. So as I mentioned, the governor, Rosselló, wanted to have a meeting with Trump, and he's trying to get Trump to understand the severity of this issue. And I guess he's been very persistent about it, which is upsetting members of Trump's administration. So two individuals allegedly said things that they should not have said in response to these requests. So one White House official allegedly said, you guys have to effing stop with these meeting requests. And then Peter Navarro, who is the White House trade advisor, allegedly said, your governor is effing things up. No, but the governor is doing what he's supposed to do, which is get the funds necessary, the resources necessary to fix the situation in Puerto Rico, to provide relief to the people who are still suffering from Hurricane Maria. How is he messing things up? No, you guys are messing things up. You guys are turning your backs on American citizens right now.
Now, of course, what they mean is you're messing up by not kissing Donald Trump's ass. That's the only way he'll ever do anything nice for you. But Rosselló tried that before, and that didn't work either. Why? Partly because Donald Trump is deeply racist. So he kept saying to Republican senators in closed-door meetings, which has now been leaked, that, well, look, we gave a lot of money to the Puerto Ricans, but they don't spend it right. Now, wait, do you have any information that Puerto Rico didn't spend it right as opposed to Texas and Florida, which is what Donald Trump compared them to? No, he doesn't have any information. Why do you assume that the Puerto Ricans are not spending it right? Come on, you know why? Because Donald Trump's like, oh, Puerto Ricans, you can't give them any money. He's the worst. He's such a terrible person. Rosselló, I mean, in a lot of ways, I don't know if he's naive or whatever. He said, look, I don't think anyone can beat the president in a kicking and screaming match. So he's saying he's not doing that. He said, what I am aiming to do is to make sure reason prevails, that empathy prevails, that equality prevails, and that we can have a discussion.
Yeah, not in this administration. Definitely naive.
If you came looking for reason and empathy, you've come to the wrong place. And finally, I found the exact quote for you guys of what Trump just said. He said, I have taken better care of Puerto Rico than any man ever.
Oh my God.
This is a direct quote. Puerto Rico has been taken care of better by Donald Trump than by any living human being. So it's absolutely delusional. And as he treats them with utter contempt, yells at them behind the scenes, refuses to meet with them in their time of need, he goes on saying, I have taken better care of Puerto Rico than any man ever. We have a lunatic for a president.